How are you? My cat is sitting here and she just kind of jumped up when I said hello. She may have thought I was talking to her. Anyways, I want to talk about today another maybe somewhat political video. But really, it is about the kingdom of God. What are we putting our hope in? What are we putting our energy in? What are we putting our focus in? I've talked quite a lot about that we cannot depend on any political system in this world, that the political systems are all put there by Satan. I have talked in detail that the beast out of the earth in Revelation 13 is the United States empire. I came across a book by David Ray Griffin, and it's called The American Trajectory, Divine or Demonic. And I just ordered it. I heard that it's very helpful to understand what the United States really is. I guess it's not very popular and it's an older book, but it's been used for a basis for many other people. For instance, Daniele Ganza, who I mentioned before, that talked about the American empire. And people, we need to know what the United States is. We, again, in this book, is divine, America divine or demonic. When we look at Revelation 13, the description of this beast out of the earth, and it is the United States. It looked like a lamb, but it spoke like the dragon. It says a dragon, but I believe somebody translated it wrong. Why? Very good, but because it gets its power from the beast out of the sea, and the beast out of the sea gets everything from the dragon. It's a dragon look-alike. So what do you think the United States is? The United States is established, no, maybe not established, but it has changed into an empire that is now controlled by the dragon. Yeah, maybe it started, with good intention and, the amendments and constitution that protect the rights of the citizens. But people, that has been a long time ago, and I don't think we have been in the business, and I'm talking about the American people, in preserving our history and preserving the fundamentals of this country. We're now realizing, many people are now realizing that we're losing, our fundamental rights laid down in our Constitution. And we have a movement today, that wants to go back to our heritage. I just heard lately that, actually on the 29th of September, they're going to have a rally in Washington with the title, I think, Preserve Our Republic. I think that's what the title is. And it is organized by a lot of these people like Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that came out of the Democratic Party that used to be on the side of what they used to call democracy, right? And the Democratic Party is still using that. Oh my goodness, we are going to lose our democracy. We have a federalism, which is very different. And maybe this other side now is realizing, wait a minute, it's not about democracy, it's about federalism. Why? Because federalism protects our rights, our individual rights. Democracy doesn't necessarily protect our individual rights. Democracy is the rule of the majority. So when the majority wins, they have the say. That is supposedly the democracy of the Democratic Party. Oh, they are in, supposedly the majority voted them in, and so now they have the say-so, and everybody else who is against this party, they are all against democracy. And so a lot of people left the Democratic Party, especially educated people. There's this one guy that I watch, Weinstein, it's Brett Weinstein, and he has a brother, and they're all scientists. His brother's name is Eric. I don't support them. They're, I think, Jews. And I don't believe in everything they're saying. But see, they're now saying we need to save our Constitution. And the Constitution is for all people, not for the majority. And yes, it sounds political, doesn't it? Like I'm getting involved politically. But here's my warning. I still believe that both parties are actually controlled by the same person, people. And if you know my hierarchy of power, you know who that is. Okay? Who is on top of the pyramid? Of course, way on top is Satan. Underneath Satan is the Vatican or papacy. Or could it be the Black Pope? Don't know. White Pope, Black Pope, whatever. Then the Jesuits, and the Jesuits infiltrate in every organization, not just the organization, but also people with money. They control the people because they give power to those people. Power and money. And they again finance all the little projects that are needed to bring about the plan. And of course, the plan is to control. It's not to go back to a federalism, okay, or to the Constitution. It's not what it's meant to. Even these people that scream we need to save our federalism, they are still under the same control. Do they know? I don't know. Okay, they're all now jumping ship and going over to on the side of Trump. And they're saying, oh, don't worry about Trump, and his kind of strange style of, like who knows what kind of style he has. He has a little heavy-handed style sometimes. Oh, don't worry about that style. We are just all different and we have to work together. But if we don't work together, we're going to lose our amendments and our Constitution. So that's why they're called preserve federalism or federal state or federalism. They don't want to say preserve democracy because that's what the Democratic Party is screaming. Oh, if Trump gets to go, become president, our democracy is going to the end. People, I do not trust any side. Why don't I trust them? Again, because it doesn't matter what side is in power. They both serve the same hierarchy. Both are there and put there by the same elite. Or let's go further than the elite, of course, Satan. Let's go further or under Satan, papacy. Babylon the Great, the man of sin. That's what we are under. Ultimately, again, I did mention this book from Chiniquy, Charles Chiniquy, 50 Years in the Roman Church. If you have not read it, please, you should. I know it's a very long, boring book, but it's very important. There's other books that I also did read, but I'm interested in this new book that I was looking up. And he has a lot more books. This one right here is, The American Empire and the Commonwealth of God, a political, economic, religious statement. Okay, so he mentions here what? The American Empire. How many people are willing to mention that word or use it in connection with the U.S.? How many? Oh no. Again, the United States, of course, is the prophet of democracy in the world, right? Humanism. And yes, I know we have a lot of Christians. I mean, we hope or think that we're founded on Christianity, blah, 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 but that has changed a long time ago. There's more people that are not Christians than Christians. So all this has changed. But I think it's important to see that what we are as a nation, as a country. Are we divine or are we demonic? And demonic means from Satan. Do we look like a lamb or do we speak like a dragon? That's a question. And again, both sides, it doesn't matter who you vote for. I thought, you know what? Kennedy really sounds good. But no, I have also said I'm very suspicious about him and how he is being used. I think he is a force in this movement. Somebody asked, and I know it from this Bret Weinstein, somebody asked Bret Weinstein if he's not afraid that they're going to, again, throw all these people in jail. Hopefully they do things differently. Hopefully they learned from the last demonstration on January 6th. Hopefully they learned from that and they don't run into another trap. Yeah, that sounds like I'm supporting them. No, I don't. I'm watching these things. I'm watching these things just knowing how the game is played. They're playing Hunger Games. Do you think I'm on anybody's side in the Hunger Games? The Hunger Games are wrong. And I hope you know what you mean, right? What I mean by Hunger Games. The Hunger Games were wrong. Hunger Games were played by the elite, right? And they're using real people. Don't care if they're killed or whatever. They'll kill each other just to have entertainment. And people, this is what I see that our elections are about. Nothing but entertainment, really, for the elite, because they know that what's going on. And they want to see who is going to be the winner. It's a performance for the public. Okay? Those people that live in the city and the other ones that live in the districts are the little pawns that are being used. But that's what it is. It's a form of Hunger Games. And the whole election is done that way. They're liars, both sides. They're liars. and they're just used. They don't care if they use an incompetent person like Kamala Harris, or how would you describe Trump? He a power drunken person. I don't know, who wants just nothing but power and esteem. Who, I don't know how I should describe him, but I think we need to be careful, and that's why I want to make this video, to again point out that neither side is any better. Neither side is from God. Now, God allows it, of course, but it is the final way for Satan to deceive the whole world. We should know that. If we read Revelation 13, that's what we're having today, and pretty soon we're going to they are going to administer the mark of the beast. And who will do that? The United States will be the forerunner. And it doesn't matter who is going to be president. The time is up. The rapture will happen soon, people. Rapture will happen soon. But they will continue to try to control more and more and destroy more and more our republic, our Constitution. The Constitution is based on the individual right of the person, not major or the majority. Christians really don't fare very well in a system that builds the rights on a majority. Please think about that. People throw this word, and I do too, democracy around. Democracy is built on the majority, the belief of the majority. If the majority says, okay, it is okay to it's okay to kill, okay, then it's okay to kill. That's what democracy is. If it's okay for the majority to say, okay, everybody's going to take this little pill, this little whatever pill, that makes you happy, then everybody's going to take it. And the government's going to enforce it. But see, our amendments are on the right of the individual. The right of the individual is more important. We use a democratic process to vote for presidents and different things, and sometimes even, okay, do we want, for instance, abortion or these kinds of things. And I think maybe because we gotten away from the individual, maybe fundamentals of our federalism, and we allow the government to take over more. And they're saying, oh yeah, the people will vote. Yes, the people will vote, but when you have a democratic vote, again, the majority will rule. And nowadays, what does that mean, people? What does that mean when we don't have a Christian country anymore? What does that mean? So yes, we need to defend our federalism, but we have to be very careful. If that is not, again, then a vehicle to guide people into voting a certain side or think that they actually have a vote. I'm very for preserving or saving the republic more than ever, because I know it's in decline. I know our rights are being taken away. And yes, I don't want to get politically involved, simply because my kingdom is not from this world. My kingdom is from another world. And we're praying that thy kingdom will come. I pray that Jesus will come, not just to pick up the bride, but to establish a different system. So many people, they want to get out, taken out of this world, right? Just to be out in heaven and where there's everything bliss. But my intention is also for Jesus to return and establish a kingdom here, establish a system here that is much better than what we have now. We, as human beings, cannot do that. We have failed and failed and failed for 6,000 years. And you think it's getting better? No, it's not. Again, you know what? We don't just have Republicans Democrats jumping ship to the Republican Party. We have it the other side around too. We have now the neocons jumping ship from the Republican side to the Democrats, because the Democrats are right now supporting the saber rattling. I am against it. So is God, so is Jesus. That's not going to be the kingdom, the type of kingdom that Jesus is going to establish, where people constantly war against each other, bloodshed. The bloodshed is not from God. In every country, especially when you're talking about an empire, okay? USA is the empire. Beast is always symbolic for empire, an empire. And that's what we have right now. We have an empire. Empire USL. What does an empire do? It has empirical tendency. What does that mean, empirical tendency? It has tendency to take over the world. Oh, they're saying we are bringing democracy into this world. But that's a lie. That's hypocritical. You bring democracy, you allow other people to choose what they want and then take care of themselves. You don't enforce the democracy. That's not democracy when you enforce your will on other people. And that's exactly what the United States is doing. When you read this guy, Daniele Ganser, should probably look him up real fast, tell you what his book is. Yeah, his book is called USA, the Ruthless Empire by Daniele Ganser. Of course, I looked at it, the German book. I don't know if I read the German book. I have read one book from him. But that's one that needs to be kind of read too. I listened to a lot of him speaking, and I also watch his channel. Of course, unfortunately, he's not a Christian. He's New Age. But again, I am looking at his political views. And not political, but also historical. He's a historian. So his historical views. So here's two books. What does an empire do? Why is the U.S. an empire? Daniele Ganser says that because it has the most airplane carriers, ships, right? Ships, airplane carriers. I think they have 6 or 7. Russia only has 1 or 2 or whatever. But by far outnumbers, everybody else. That is what makes an empire. Russia broke anyways. It doesn't exist. The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. It used to maybe be close to an empire, but really the United States was always the major empire. And they're always, they said they were, defeating communism because that's the big scare that they made up right? Communism. Oh, we're going to be taken over by communism. And that's just propaganda so we can go against these people, right, that are, we call, Marxist or communist. And it's still, today, it's still a big thing. A lot of people still were indoctrinated during my generation. Oh my goodness, the communists are coming. And we still have that. Oh, they're communists. It's all a distraction, though. It's a very big distraction. People want to live under communism. Why am I, changing anything? People have to stand up themselves and free themselves. That's what I think. I think it's, a lot of times they're just using, like I said, this propaganda to manipulate people. We see that in Huxley's Brave New World. I think that's what it's called. Okay, how they manipulate and, use propaganda to control people, if you have seen that before. And people today, we live in a very severe false reality. We've been mind controlled through the media for now generations, believing, oh, we still have a democracy. And I'm going to use that word democracy right now. In other words, we freely can choose the president we want. That hasn't happened for years, people. And they're denying it for years. Even if we could choose, they still have the candidates there that are still chosen by the same people behind it. So in other words, it doesn't matter if we choose Kamala Harris or Trump. They both will serve the same people who are behind it. They can scream all they want, oh, pharma, and, like Biden said, we defeated pharma. We defeated pharma? He defeated pharma? That people can really put their heads to their finger to their forehead and say, what? Pharma's not defeated. They're still totally, controlling everything. Our, healthcare system is totally controlled by pharma. Absolutely. They cannot even offer any other alternative solution, without people screaming, oh, that's false information. Oh, misinformation. Our doctors are trained a certain way, so they only use pharma. Even now, you can again see these videos on YouTube, that show that alternative medicines are not accepted with regular medicine. But I don't want to go there. I want to stick to the political situation. It doesn't matter, people, who you will vote for. You can watch the political nonsense, but it's only a wasted time. It's nothing but a wasted time. I know somebody who likes to just watch it and enjoys, how they make fun of the other candidate. I don't like that. I don't care if that person is bad or whatever, not competent. I don't like people to make fun of them. I just don't. Look at them and say, okay, that's not good. Let it go. Okay? She's definitely not the one I'm going to vote for. Or he's definitely not the one I'm going to vote for. Well, I'm not going to vote for anybody, but even think that they're good. They are both picked by the same people. Now, we know Trump has already been president, so he's not totally new. Kamala Harris was vice president, so we know what she has been doing. Nothing. Nothing. Trump, what has he done? Oh, okay, he worked on the border stuff. Yeah, that's the central theme right now, right? The borders. Yeah, at least he did something at the border, close to the border, put up a wall at the border. But what did he do with everything else? Nothing. What did he do during the pandemic? Because it started during his time. Nothing. Nothing at all. And the opposite. He bragged because he pushed through this vaccine in a record time without having it tested. Okay? Well, that means record time without it being tested enough, if it's even harmful or not. That's what he did. That was his accomplishment. And he bragged about it. Well, he's not bragging anymore about it. Matter of fact, that topic doesn't even come up. It doesn't even come up when, when they talk, when Kennedy gets to talk on his platform. Yeah, he cannot bring up vaccines, that's for sure. But people, I'm coming to an end. I just want to make a point here. Wake up and do not let yourself be deceived by this corrupt system. This whole system is corrupt and it's going into destruction. When we watch or read Revelation, it will go into destruction. The beast system will go into destruction. It will be thrown into the lake of fire. Revelation, I think it's Revelation 16, at the end of the 6th bowl. People, I want to just mention these books, Ganser, Daniele Ganser, and who was the other guy? Griffin. David Ray Griffin, maybe. Yeah. David Ray Griffin. Coming to an end. Unfortunately, he died already. Wrote a lot of books. Here's one of them. God, Power, and Evil. It's one of his books. I'm just looking at it. God, Power, and Evil, a process. He is very strong in process theology. All right, coming to an end. And again, hey, people, I'm not following his theology. So just so you know, no. I'm looking at historical things and political things so we are not deceived. Let the Holy Spirit guide you, of course.